know, yeah, you know, that's always been, I think, why I guess, you know, defended Boyle Heights, for lack of a better term, you know, because for me it meant, you know, like your friends, your people, you know, cultural connections. I mean, the people you fucking live next to, you know, like
right.
That is the cultural connection, you know. You did it. You would go to I would walk in the strange fucking backyards, you know, like
yeah,
and listen to music, you know, like you're not gonna find that anywhere else, dude. I'm sorry, like that's important. I'm sorry, you know, like.
Yeah.
Too bad, you know. Like I think that's important for the future of fucking Boyle Heights, but whatever, you know.
I think what I'm hoping that I don't do. I'm not going to, but I gotta find a way. I can't see it yet. At the end of this thing, whatever the fuck, because you have to present your findings, whatever the fuck that means.
Right.
And what I'm hoping is I don't just get up there and I'm like, all right, well, you know, DBH did this. ELAC and the BHC did that, and we needed both to make change. Like I don't want to tell that story. I don't want to say we need them and we need us. I want to say like that shit is so shallow. It never penetrates these networks. It's so shallow, even though there's millions of dollars being pumped through the neighborhood, but it never reaches. Just if I can mean you, there's so many angles, but I'm just trying to. I don't want to tell that happy story. It's not a happy story because what you just said, the threat, is that Capital will fucking come through and fucking wash the whatever.
Right. I mean, for me, that was always. I mean, that's part of the goal.
Yeah.
Maybe not explicitly, right? They're not going to put on their fucking PowerPoint. We're here to de-radicalize movements, right?
Right.
But it's necessary, right? You can't. I mean, you know, I don't know. Defend Boyle Heights makes something like building healthy communities, right? Look so useless, right? And that's the last thing they need. To.
But like the thing, I should stay on the script. But the thing that baffles me is that if I take all these interviews and I include myself, the collective trauma that each person has gone through in their upbringing on the East Side. And they never see any of that fucking money.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I just think, they're so tone deaf. This kind of trauma I hear in my interviews, it is horrendous, what people have gone through. And I'm just like, they're not doing shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
You know, the things that hood organizers have seen in their youth and what they carry with them, like... Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stay on the script.
Yeah, right.
Okay, right. What do revolutionary politics mean to you? We got 3 questions and then we're done.
Cool. Revolutionary politics. That's a good question, you know. You know, I almost feel... like that is the question that needs to be answered in the 21st century today, you know? So, I don't know, you know? I mean, I always, when I was involved in DBH, I always felt it was bigger, right, than us, and that there was people watching because they had questions, right? About politics and about things like that, you know. But at the same time, I feel like, at least me, I didn't necessarily find the answer in Defend Boyle Heights, you know. So I'm also not too sure where I would, you know, I'm thinking about the answer. I'm not too sure where essentially it's kind of coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it might be, you know, just my experience and also like. My idealism, but I don't think I'm going to say anything too crazy. Revolutionary politics, I think, is essentially a radical left politics that that can commit working class people and poor people and marginalized people into a struggle for the long term, you know? Like, I don't think I have a philosophical answer or anything like that, right? But I think just more of like, you know, I think what I've just been seeing missing, you know, like, I believe that, you know, I believe most people, most working class people, right, implicitly understand, right, that capitalism is not a game that, or it's not a system that will ultimately, you know, turn them into a millionaire, right, by the time that they're like fucking whatever, retired, or, you know, or at all, right?
Yeah.
That most people maybe live for their, you know, just immediate needs like family and, you know, taking care of themselves and you know, just being happy and you know, loved, and if that's what they care about, right? But like revolutionary politics, as in like, you know, a politics that commits people to the overthrowing of the United States government, or whatever government that, you know, is you're forcing a re-evolution on, right?
Yeah.
You know, I believe that one day, you know, I believe that there's a lot of work to be done in order to develop people, you know, into that leadership and into that capacity. But philosophically, you know, I can't tell you whether, you know, what that would really look like. I just feel that's essentially what is necessary, is, you know, a politics that would commit my neighbors to the overthrowing of capitalism in the United States. I think that's really the best answer I can give, you know.
Yeah.
Because everything else that I was involved in was, you know, I think more... I mean, you know, that's a very big kind of concept and question, you know, so, like, everything else obviously is a lot smaller and stuff, you know. I don't know, you know, I don't know, you know, we also live in a post-Zapatista world, and I'm also just kind of tired of, like, that stuff, too, you know, it's a little bit played out.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yep.
So, I'm also a bit more kind of receptive to something, you know, like party building, you know, and to concepts like, I don't know, you know, adopting violence and revolutionary violence specifically, right, as kind of a tactic to, you know, push back against a lot of these things that really kind of don't seem to not have any other way of pushing back. For example, endowments, right, that just funnel millions of dollars into, like, communities in ways where the actual communities don't get a sense of it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, post-Trump or just in the 21st century onward, in this moment in capitalism, I don't think that, you know, this country is either going to, the system of this country is either going to fall apart on its own after just being kind of glued back together so many times unsuccessfully, right? After so many, like, crises that at least I've lived through, right? As someone in my mid-20s, right? Or, we will build, you know, either, you know, a dedicated group of people, you know, who will be able to organize the rest of us, or just people, right, politically, strategically, across this mess, basically, you know. And maybe a group like the LETU will be something like that, you know, who will in years' time be able to develop, you know, a national group, right, of people. And maybe they won't build towards revolution or nothing, you know, nothing crazy or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But something like that. I mean, I'm also just trying to think about what I see also around me in real time, you know, like, I see the LETU and I see Maoists. I don't know, you know, we'll see what gets there first. If any of them, right? Like,
that's true.
I don't, you know, like, I don't really know what else to say, like, otherwise it would be some weird, idealistic, postmodern Zapatista bullshit, you know, like,
right.
Changing, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't want to get into that. But me, I see my role at the moment, you know, I would like to involve myself in a bigger organization, like in the very near future. I think it's something that I've been missing, you know, there's just a lot of things to clear up with a lot of people, right? I'm also just in a place, you know, I've put because of Vanderbilt Heights, you know, like, I mean, you know, a lot, you know, no one benefited, you know, no one benefited, like, outright, right, from being involved in DBH, like, look at this nice house I brought. You know, like, yeah, it was cool, but it was also stressful and painful, and like I've compromised my relationship with a lot of my friends and a lot of these networking stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I think I also have a long way to go before I have kind of a clear answer for that as well, you know. But I also would consider myself someone who's committed to finding those answers. So.
It's a really good way to end.
Yeah, it's like land the plane, land the plane.
No, it's a good way to end. Like the whole thing, land the plane. Yeah, I think that